I got into contact with one of the most recognized Dynamike players of all time, Lukiebear, and he shared the best Dynamike tips that money can't buy. So if you stick around till the end, you'll have the tools necessary to get your Dynamike to rank 35 in no time. Tip number 5, knowing which matchups to avoid. Dynamike matchups are largely based on movement speed. This is because all of Mike's shots have a delay of 1.1 seconds. This means that the closer the enemy is, the easier it is for them to dodge you, which is why highly mobile brawlers like Mortis, Edgar, BB with the speed star power, Max, etc. aren't the best matchups for Dynamike since they can get in his face very easily. The thing about Dynamike is sitting in cover and trying to win the lane, and the slower the brawler, the easier it is to do so. It is also advised to avoid long-range chip damage brawlers altogether, including but not limited to Grom and Griff. The best matchup for Dynamike, according to Lukiebear, are first and foremost Frank, whom you can easily target when he stops to attack, but apart from Frank, brawlers with normal movement speed or lower, and brawlers with low health like Spike, Ruffs, Ems, Tara, etc. Put simply, the best brawlers are those who have less than 4480 health, that is, all brawlers that Dynamike can two-shot. Tanks are good matchups as well, but since they have considerably more health, it's best be wary around them, especially tanky assassins like Buzz or Daryl. Tip number 4, how to use the big barrel. The big barrel of boom, that is Dynamike Super, has two very important mechanics that make Dynamike very dangerous. First is the chaining. Dynamike can chain supers very easily. This is done by attacking an enemy with one normal attack and one super. Keep in mind that these two shots should be released together. The damage done from the single normal attack and the super combined will charge a new super right back up, allowing you to chain another big barrel that much easily. Second is the super bouncers. Now, there is no trick that'll magically make you do super bouncers, and it comes purely from practice. But after hitting an enemy with the super, if you can throw a follow-up shot at where they will land from the knockback, you can easily gain damage and even kill extra tanky brawlers. The super knocks the target back about 3 tiles, so placing your second shot 3 tiles away from the target's trajectory should allow you to do a proper super bounce. Tip number 3, free hits. Free hits are essentially hitting people who aren't expecting your attack. When you're engaging enemies in a match, it helps to attack people who aren't expecting it. For example, attacking someone who is ignoring you, or camping a bush and stunning someone that approaches. They're called free hits because you need to put less effort into them than attacking other targets. Tip number 2, attacking techniques. According to Lukey, it's important to take your time when aiming as opposed to just tossing attacks everywhere. Naturally, it is equally important to be able to predict how a target will move to dodge your attack. To this effect, have at least 2 ammo at any given moment to be able to attack twice consecutively. Try to switch up the timings between attacks. If you throw attacks at regular intervals at the same target, they're gonna know when the next attack will come and be ready for it. To counter this, try free hits, attacking enemies who ignore you, or simply change the timings between each attack. Dynamike's attacks do a lot of damage per shot, and if the enemy can't predict when you're going to attack, that simply makes your attacks a lot more effective, especially when playing defense. Tip number 1, how to Dynajump. And finally, the most popular Dynamike strategy, the Dynajump. The most important thing about Dynajumping is, and I quote, a defense tool and an escape mechanism, not something you use to get close to everyone. A lot of people are often incredibly aggro with the Dynajump, which is actually a very risky way to play him, since for the most part, Dynamike, much like all other throwers, should play defensively even in offensive situations. In fact, Lukey says that, quote, most aggro I usually am with it when I'm actually trying is in heist maps with walls near the safe. If you go on YouTube, you'll see clean Dynajump team wipes everywhere, but those are very, very rare 1 in 1,000 encounters. Personally, I use Demolition because it allows you to two-shot so many brawlers, and against hard counters like Mortis, Buzz or Edgar, Dynajump is gonna be useless anyway. Remember that the Dynajump is not meant to be used in an aggro play unless it is a mode like Heist where you may be required to jump around while attacking the safe. And don't experiment during a game, you'll just ruin the game for the randoms you match with if your experiments end up throwing the game. Really, the only thing that can throw a game harder than Dynamike is Mortis, so if you want to know how to play Mortis like an absolute beast, then watch this video right here.